So the requirement is I want to capture the extract last refresh date and time. Okay, so let's edit, or let me right click. You can see extract, go back to history. This is the last refresh time, right? You can see 15/12/2020, 9/27 is the last refreshed date and time. So I want to capture this particular date and time. So just want to showcase that in the dashboard. That is what I explained in yesterday's class. Like this is today's time, but generally I want to capture last updated time. So we have to showcase last updated time in the dashboard so that users can know that, okay, this is what the last updated time for the Tableau data extracts. Okay. So that is the reason we are going to capture last updated time, date and time. So to capture last updated date and time, let's check if we have any calculation. So we have last function, but any update time update. So we don't have a function to capture last updated date and time for the data extracts. Okay. So which I have used today or now function. Today captures today's date and now captures today's date and time. But my requirement is whenever you are going to refresh the extract or whatever the last refreshed date and time, so I want to capture that specific date. So one of the advantage for this particular information to capture this date and time information, right? So you can edit the title. Okay, it's not present in calculations. Maybe if it is possible in other way, like some other way, if that is pretty good. But one of the flexible ways to capture the last updated date and time is you have an option called as insert in the title. You can see data update data update time. Okay, so click on this data update time. Okay, so this is just a sheet. I didn't place any of the record from this data source. Okay, so let's say let's place any category from Superstore. We can see 16/12/2020 8/29. That is what we just connected the data source. Okay, so this is a live connection. So let's go back. But my concept or my requirement is I want to capture the last refreshed extract, like whenever the extract refreshed that specific date and time. So you have to place any column from coffee chain, but whenever you are going to place any of the column from coffee chain data source, let's say in the fact table, have area code, okay, or product ID. This will clearly tells that 15/12/2020 is the last updated date and time. Okay, 9/27. So we are able to capture this particular information in Tableau. This is one of the important point because we don't have a calculation field to capture this information. The only advantage is like edit the title. You have direct option to insert data update time. Okay, but you can also ask whenever you are going to place any of the column, it captures the date and time, but I don't want to showcase this unwanted data. Correct? Can we hide this? Or what we can do is you can unselect header, but still we are able to see ABC. So you can do something like you can do something else, like let's drag and drop product ID somewhere else, like into detail section. Okay, you are able to capture that information, and you can do different formatting. So you can see, right? Or instead of doing this, what I can suggest is let me try this. Okay, let me try a dummy calculation field. So use double quotes. That's it. I don't have anything. Okay, I just use double quotes, dummy calculation or dummy field, which is created on top of coffee chain. Let's drop into rows. So I'm able to see dummy field. Okay, We can place any of the field. For ABC, generally we don't have any measure value. Can we use the same thing into text? Let's see. Yeah. So when we place into text, we don't have anything, right? Dummy field, we just use double quotes. We don't want to do any formatting. Straight away, you can bring that particular dummy field into text and it will showcase what we call as a space, but we don't have any text value. That is the reason it is not showing anything. If you want to verify, just edit, you can place something. Any text, okay? I'm just using some text value. You can see it's displaying something in the sheet. So let's go back, Control Z, Control Z. I don't have anything actually. This is the dummy field, okay? But I am not showing anything here. So what we can do is go back to this dashboard 7. This is the sheet 22, right? Dashboard 7. And let's close this. And we can bring sheet 22. Okay. And now you can resize. So this is where you can mention, you can use a title like last updated data time or something like that, or last refresh last refresh data date and time. You can use any naming convention so that users can know that okay, this is what the date and time where the last data refreshed. Okay. So this is one of the interesting point and important. So because sometimes they do ask these type of questions like when the data was refreshed in Tableau. I just want to know that. So in that case, yes, we can try and get some information. But whenever you are going to place any of the existing columns into rows or columns, let's say when you place area code, obviously you are going to get these area codes. So if you are going to hide or unselect headers, so you are able to see all these unwanted text boxes or unwanted fields. That is the reason I just created a dummy field. Just you can see here, this dummy calculation helps in such a way in typical formatting. I will tell you one of the requirement. So I just used a simple double quotes. I don't have any space as well. It is the calculation is valid and I just used a dummy calculation from this data source to capture the date and time. Any questions? Let me know on this so that we can move on to the next topic.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, Sujay.
I can tell you for sure that I did not understand anything about the whole thing about this
Like
data time.
I'm lost too.
I
Okay.
did not understand one single thing at all, like nothing.
Oh, okay, that's okay. That's not a problem. So let me come back to a new sheet. Okay. One of the requirement is why I have explained that particular concept is it's not straight away, and we don't concentrate what is available in the title. Okay, we don't concentrate much on this information, but I'm just going to showcase a real-time requirement where we have to showcase sometimes for the users when the last data load happens. Okay, or when the data refresh happens in Tableau level. Okay, let's say today is the date. Let's say like December 16, 2020. This is today's date here in India. Like, let's say December 15, 2020. Give me some time. So let me give you some background about this particular information. Okay. So this is what the total sales happened for the last 4 days. Okay. This is a consolidated, let's say on 12th, December 12th, it's 1400. 13th, you can see 1600. 14th, you can see 1800. And 15th, you can see 2000. Okay. So this is today's date. I cannot say like this is the data which is loaded because the complete day is not happened yet. Correct? You agree, right?
Yes.
So what I mean to say is, I'm a user. I want to know what is the last available data or last updated data, or at what time the data got updated. Let's say if it is a transactional database, let's say till 8:46, okay. Let's say like 120 sales or 100 sales happen, like 100 sales. The total sale happened till now is 100, kind of a real-time data, okay. And maybe after 8:46 or maybe at 8:47, one more person placed an order with 100 rupees, then the total sales is 200. Similarly, as the day goes on, right, the sales might increase, right, across that same day. So let's say at 9 p.m., 9 a.m., so the sales might be like 400. But at a particular point of time, let's consider that now the current sales is 100. One person placed an order today, which we capture the real-time data is 100. Okay. But if in Tableau, what has happened is, I know that I'm into a business person. I'm into a business team where I'm aware of what kind of data is or what kind of transactions are going to happen. I'm aware of the process, but I want to just look into those report details. What are all the sales happened across that particular info, like across these days? Okay, let's say from December 12th, 13, 14, 15, or let's say 1 week of data. So let's consider today is 16, right? So from 10th to or last 6 days of data. Let's consider last 6 days of data. Okay. So this is last 6 days of data. But my point is, so I'm not going to apply any filter. Let's consider this is the data available in the data source. My point is, if we loaded the data, if we load only like the data which is available till December 15th into Tableau, okay? So in Tableau, generally like, so what I mean to say is, in Tableau, let's say, let's delete this. It's not loaded into Tableau till December 16th, but I just loaded till December 15th, right? This is what the data available in Tableau. But in the database, I can see extra 100 sales happen, right? But what I mean to say is, this is the data available in Tableau and what time the data refreshed. You can tell that, hey, this data is refreshed. The last refresh date and time is December 15th, 2020, 9:27, 34 seconds. Okay. This is the last data refresh date and time where I have loaded this complete information. This is what the available data when you load the data into Tableau at December 15, 2020, 9:27. 9 in the sense it's like it's a Indian time, so you can go for like not Indian time, 12 hours, like you can go for 21, 27, 9, 21, 27, 34. Okay, 9:27, 34 seconds. So if we can convert this into like 24 hours time, so we can capture proper data. What I meant to say is the exact date, and time which the last extract refreshed. That is what a very simple point. So let's go back to order sample superstore. When you click on extract, okay, click on the sheet one, automatically it will create an extract, right? Click on save. I don't want to concentrate on this particular extract, but I just want to capture the date and time, the last refresh date and time. Extract includes all data. You can see 6/12, December 16, 2020, 8:50:21 seconds. Now the current time is like 8:50. It captures 21 seconds. Okay. I want to capture this particular date and time. Getting the point, right? Because this is the time where I just created an extract and I didn't refresh. This is the last refreshed date and time. Getting the point, right? This is the last refresh date and time, 16/12/2020, 8:50:21. So that is what 8:50 a.m. Okay. And you can consider that at 8:51, there are a couple of records loaded. You know, right? We have done this incremental refresh. So whenever you are going to perform incremental refresh, let's say there are a couple of records loaded, then we are going to capture by making use of insert or update. Based on the insert, if it is a newly loaded record, we can capture that data, and it is also capture we can also capture the date and time, the last refresh date and time. So that is what my point actually. What I mean to say is, yesterday I have showed the same concept. I created an extract. What is the last refresh date and time I want to capture? I want to showcase that information in the dashboard so that users are aware of that, right? Okay, this is not the real time data. This is what the date and time where the extract has been refreshed. Getting the point, right? So now the current date and time is December 16, 8:52. But what is the last refresh date and time? By making use of title, click on this drop down, data update time, click OK. And whenever you're going to use, as I say, right, whenever you're going to use any of the column from that data source, irrespective of this, let's don't concentrate on this. But this is what the last updated date and time where you can capture in the title. You can see December 16, 2020, 8:50:21. So you can go back to data source. You can check this 8:50:21 seconds. Clear? That is what a very simple requirement to capture last whenever the extract refresh, whenever the data load happens in Tableau, that is what the extract refreshed. What is the last instance the extract has been refreshed? So if you want to capture that particular date and time, there is no option called as it's not possible. I do feel it's not possible by using any of the functions, but one of the flexibility and one of the very simple option we can capture is by using data update time. I hope this is clear, but not sure. Still, if you have any questions, I will explain one more time.
So now that we have the date and time insert on Tableau, so each time we will do the extract, that very date will show up, or it's always going to show up at this very time here, 8:50:21, or the time will always change depending on the time that the refresh was done.
Perfect. Yes, that's a very good question. So whenever now just check, remember this 8:50, okay? Now I'm going to refresh the extract. So I'm going to click on extract, refresh. What's the time now?
Okay, so it's always going to change and the date will always change as well.
Date and time will always change whenever the data refresh happens in Tableau.
Okay, I got it now.
So this is not direct. That's the reason I just showed this particular option for you. It's actually like in a real time. Generally, if something comes up, we are going to do in real time. But I just recollected and I just want to showcase. I just want to highlight this simple option, but very important because we don't have a calculation function to capture this information. The only flexibility we do have is like in the title. That's an advantage actually.
Yeah, the good man.
And I showed a dummy column, right? What I mean to say is like, instead of this ABC, yes, you can apply some white color, but again, you need to do some formatting options. Instead of doing that, let's drop this region, and you can create a dummy calculation field. That's what I mean to say. You can use double quotes. Don't use any space. If you want, you can use space. That's not a issue, but just to create a dummy field, okay? And because we need to capture the sheet, we have this particular sheet, but we never know what the data source. Let's say if we have multiple data sources, but I never know what is the which field is coming from which data source, right? That is the reason at least we need to place one of the column from that specific data source so that we can capture the last updated date and time. So what we can do is, instead of dragging this dummy field into rows, I can suggest just drag and drop into text. That's it. So it is proper formatted way where we don't want to do any other formatting things. Because in dummy field, it's nothing. Simple double quotes, that is, we don't have any text, it's a space. So this is where you can capture last updated date and time. And whenever the data refreshes happens, let's click on the data refresh. It will capture 857 or 856:59, so close. So this is where the advantage with one of the date field and title. Okay. Any questions? I would like to say one more. I would like to showcase one more assignment. Wikipedia. You can take any of the organization. Let's say Wikipedia, Walmart. So when you look into this data or whatever the stats we have, so for revenue, you can straight away, like, right? So whenever we are going to showcase, why do prefer these reporting tools? With Excel, okay, we can do formatting, but interactivity, user friendly, right? That's a flexibility we do have with all these reporting tools like Tableau, the visualization tools, right? So when you look into this particular data on the glance, right, we are focusing on this color indicators, right? Straight away, we are going to see that, okay, this looks green in color. That means it's increasing, right? This looks red in color. That means it's in decreasing order, or it's decreased. So what I mean to say is, maybe they are calculating from current quarter to previous quarter, or maybe they're comparing with previous quarter. I'm not exactly sure, but it shows an indicator, right? This shows positive indicator. This shows negative indicator. Similarly, I want to capture the same kind of information. So I just want to give you an assignment, or if you're okay, I will explain the scenario. But let me showcase an example. Similarly, I do have subcategory wise sales profit. Sorry, so I have subcategory wise profit. You can see few of the negative values. What I mean to say is, it's very simple. Let's sort it out. I want to showcase for these. Okay, let me copy. Control C. You can export, but let me copy the data here. Okay, so subcategory wise profit. So my requirement is, wherever you can find negative values, this is a negative value. I want to showcase something like an image or let's go for data. Any shapes? I just want to include some shapes. Insert, I think here, maths, symbols, okay. Symbols, sorry. Think in data. Any idea we can, I'm aware of that, but I'm unable to find that information in home. Not sure. I just want to insert some symbols, some arrow marks.
Or go to inside.
Yeah, here you can see shapes, right? So let's say I want to showcase if this is negative value. So I want to use an image, or not image, a shape which I want to showcase in Tableau, but I'm just showcasing here the sample data. So this is where I want to showcase down arrow, right click. You can fill with the red color. Okay, I want to showcase a red arrow, like down arrow. So, okay. So if it is less than 0, I want to showcase a red indicator, shows red arrow indicator, which shows is down. It's a down arrow. If it is positive, you can go back to insert, drop down shapes, and make use of up arrow. Something like this. Okay. You got the requirement. So wherever you can find the positive value, you can showcase that in an up arrow in green color, and wherever you can find negative value, you want to showcase that in a red color down arrow. That's what the same here. You can use any of the shape, okay? Like if you want, you can use simple circle, an indicator where something like a traffic light signal where you can showcase circles, and you can apply some color condition. If sales greater than 0 or profit greater than 0, I want to showcase in green color, else red in color. Got the requirement, right? If you want to try, I will give an assignment, or if I want to explain, I will go ahead and explain the same thing. Anything is fine.
Are you saying if we wanna try to do this thing that you just did, the inserting?
Not in Excel. I want to showcase the same indicator in Tableau. So now here I want to showcase an indicator that I have a text, but I want to showcase some indicator, at least in the report, where if you want to showcase a separate column, or maybe side by side of, maybe you can like showcase this image or whatever the shapes beside this, showcase something like a red color indicator. That is also fine. At least you have to do something. You need to showcase some indicator, your own indicators. As I said, right, it has to showcase in red in color, and if this is positive, I want to showcase in green color. Do you want to try?
It's gonna be hard. Kelechi, can you do it? Can you try it?
Makari?
Ramesh, please, you can go ahead with the demonstration.
So yeah, that's okay. Like I will do this. Okay. So let me showcase this. So one of the concept where we have a concept called as discrete and continuous. Okay. What is meant by discrete and what is meant by continuous? Okay. Discrete, one of the advantage for discrete and continuous is you can convert the measure value is continuous. You can, when you click on this drop down, it is continuous. What is discrete? Discrete is similar to a dimension. As I say, dimension showcase in a blue color and the measure showcase in green color, right? That's what we learned. But we have a concept where we can differentiate a dimensions and measure, or we can differentiate into discrete and continuous. Okay, what actually discrete and what actually continuous? So the proper example I can tell you before going to this is we have a date field. Actually we have order date. Okay, when you use order date and sales, you have order date by sales, year of order date and sales information. Whenever you are going to use date field, you are able to see line graph, right? What is this line graph and what is this? When you mouse over, you can clearly see below it is continuous line graph and this is discrete line graph. So what I can do is let me duplicate and do the same for one is discrete and one is continuous. This is continuous and this is discrete. Okay. So let's do one thing, a simple point. If it is, this is continuous, right? Just click on this continuous line graph. Okay. And go back to discrete. Click on this show me, and this is discrete line graph. Click on discrete. What exactly the difference you are seeing in between these two charts? I didn't done any of the formatting. I just selected continuous. I just selected discrete in these two different sheets. What is the difference you are seeing?
Discrete is short, continuous is long.
Perfect. Okay.
Discrete is 2007. Discrete.
Discrete.
Yeah. 2017. 2018.
It's not clear. Sorry.
When it comes to the year, the other year.
17, 18, 19, 20. Yes, we have same data. Let me showcase sales information into labels. We have proper year-wise sales data. Go back to continuous. Drag and drop the same sales into label. You can see the same sales information. The one point is discrete and continuous in this case is almost the same, but discrete is short, as what Uche said, and any other difference. That's what the reason I just showed these two graphs. Just look into all other things.
Discrete happen in a short time, but or long, short, but continuous happen. It took time, a long time to happen.
No, just look into the data. Like just look into the report and tell me the difference. What exactly the difference you can see here.
On the data,
Okay, let me come back to this. You can see year of order date, correct?
mhm,
What is the color of year of order date?
It's green.
green,
Green. Go back to discrete. What is the color of year of order date? Blue.
blue,
So when you click on continuous, right, continuous chart, continuous line graph, this will convert into continuous. Year of order date is converted into continuous. Whenever you are going to click on discrete visualization, that is discrete line graph, this will select as a discrete of year of order date. What exactly discrete and continuous is? It won't break the line graph. So when you click on this drill down, you have a continuous line graph, okay? Yes, we have every year wise, quarter wise, but we don't have any break between each and every year wise, quarter wise, okay? It's a continuous line graph for each and every quarter, year wise, quarter wise sales. Go back to discrete, perform the same drill down. You can see the perfect difference between these two. It's almost the same. It's almost the same, but we don't have a continuous line graph. We don't have a connectivity between current quarter to previous quarter. Okay. The
It's
current
separate.
year, yeah, it's separate. Individual year, separate quarter-wise sales. That's a discrete. But for continuous, you have a continuous line graph. There is no break between current year quarter to previous year quarter, something like that. That's a one proper example. I can differentiate discrete and continuous. Okay. So when you drill down, it is discrete in the sense we are going to get individual visualizations across that level, quarter wise, individual year, month wise sales. But for continuous, it is going to showcase each and every year wise, month wise continuous line graph. This was one of the best example where we can differentiate discrete and continuous. But whatever the example I have shown here is one of the advantage for, we used discrete and continuous for date field, okay? But we don't convert subcategory into discrete or continuous, okay? This is a text field. Date field, we can do that. But what exactly I'm showing is like we are converting a measure into discrete, okay? Just concentrate please. Measure into discrete. So when you convert this sum of profit into discrete, drag and drop into rows. So basically, whenever you're going to drop profit into sum of profit, when you convert into discrete, you are going to get proper data. It will perform aggregation. It will perform aggregation. Okay. Just double click on profit. You can see the same data, but you just converted into discrete. Sum of profit into discrete. You're getting discrete values. Let's do format. I will come back to each and every point. Number standard, number custom. So both the values are same, right? Sum of profit with discrete and sum of profit with continuous is same. We are getting proper aggregation. That is one important point. First of all, it should perform proper aggregation. Okay, this is discrete. Why? But when you just remove the continuous or a measure value, whenever you can see here, whenever you are going to drag and drop any measure, sales, it will comes up into ABC, this text value, right? We can, let's say, double click on profit. All the measures comes up after this line. These are all measures. But what we have done is we just converted sum of profit into discrete so that we are just showcasing similar to a dimension. Okay. Similar to a dimension, but it will perform proper aggregation. Exactly whatever the phone's value, phone's profit.
So why do we need to convert it as a dimension if it can work as a measure?
Perfect. Excellent question. So why I have done this, I will come back to that before going to explain why I have converted. I just want to showcase one simple point. When you convert a measure into discrete, you cannot prepare or you cannot create any of the chart, any of the visualization. Whenever you are going to convert any measure into discrete, you cannot create any of the visualization, any of the chart. Every chart is disabled. Okay. So if you have any questions on this, I will explain one more time. But why I have done, that's a very good question. Why I have done this kind of why I have preferred like to convert sum of profit from continuous to discrete, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use shape here. You can see I didn't place anything, but let's drag and drop. Let's click on this drop down and convert into shape. When you click on text, right, it showcases ABC here. Okay. Whenever you're going to use shape, I can see circle by default. But if you write a simple calculation, or let's use, if you want to showcase some circle, you can showcase circle. If you want to showcase some arrow marks, you can showcase, right? But my requirement is, if it is positive, if the profit is greater than 0, I want to showcase this arrow, upper arrow, and this is, or up arrow, and this is down arrow. Correct? That is what my requirement. That is the reason why if you are going to use continuous, I will showcase both the options. Okay. If you are going to use continuous, let's say subcategory wise profit, you already capturing the results within the measure here. Okay. You're already capturing the data in ABC. In automatic, you're just using the text value. Okay. Showcasing the profit value. So if I want to showcase a exact indicator, proper indicator, you can convert the same sum of profit into discrete, so that you have the text, whatever the text or a measure value you are going to drop. Instead of dropping that measure, I just converted into shape. But before showcasing the proper appropriate indicators, just write a calculation field. Okay. What is the calculation field? If sum of profit greater than or equal to 0, then green, any indicator. Okay. Else red. Any text, anything is fine here. So this is high or low, or some indicator. So just drag and drop this high or low into color. First of all, you can differentiate with 0, like greater than 0 and less than 0. Yes, we have done that. And assign the proper color. For green, assign green color. For red, you can assign red in color. Okay. Now I am able to differentiate red and green indicators. Or if you want to showcase something like a traffic light signal, you can showcase something like a traffic signal lights, where if greater than 0, I can showcase in green color, less than 0, I can showcase that in a red in color. But my requirement is I want to showcase something like a different arrows. Go back to shapes. So we have the same calculation field, right? The high and low, you have to drag and drop into shape, because we have two different colors and we can assign two different shapes. Click on shape. For green, I can assign filled arrow. For green is positive, right? This one. For red, you can go for down arrow. That's it. Clear? This is what I asked to create. I know initially it is tough. This is what I asked to create, which I want to showcase an indicator, which is if it is greater than 0, I can showcase in a green color, else I can showcase in a red color. I will come back to this as you asked, right? Why should we convert into discrete? We have an option. Instead of creating discrete and continuous, we can also do one more thing. You can click on the shape directly. Okay. You can see here. Let me recreate the report once again. Okay, let's delete. So let me recreate, just concentrate please. This is also important. So whenever you are going to, straight away you want to use shape, you can use shape, but text and shapes are overlapped, correct? Getting the point? The text and the value, like the label is overlapped. If you want to showcase only the text, select text. If you want to showcase only the labels or shape, click on labels, unselect the tick mark. You can showcase only the labels. But I want both text, I want both value and the indicator, right? If you want to do that, what we can do is we have to resize this, increase the width. Okay, if you can increase the width, in the middle you can see the shape, but this is a complete space, and you can see I'm going to showcase an alignment. If you want to showcase the text value right side or left side, you can see you have that much space, so you are wasting some part of space if you are going to use something like this approach, but that's okay. This is also good. I will tell you when it is going to help. Okay, let's say in the middle it is overlapped, but I want to showcase indicator before the text value. Clear? So when it is going to help in the sense, if you have only one dimension and one measure, and if you want to showcase an indicator, then this will work. But one of the requirement I worked in real time is I have one dimension in rows and one more dimension in columns. In that case, you don't want to worry about what is discrete and what is continuous. Okay. So now straight away we can use shape to showcase these circles. Click on this filled circles. The same approach, you can simply drag and drop the calculation field into color. That's it. I have done nothing actually. I just added shape and the same calculation. Wherever you can see, if you want to go for a different shape, you can drag and drop the same calculation into shapes, so that we already assigned the shape to this calculation. That is the reason we are getting proper shapes. And you can clearly showcase the red colored or whatever the negative values. You can test, you can just do some part of testing whether we are getting proper indicators or not. Clear? This looks good, right?
Can you please edit that calculation? Let me see.
It's a very simple calculation which we are showcasing profit greater than 0. Simple text. If you want to showcase high, you can name it as high. And this is low. Any text is fine. It's a very simple calculation, but the approach is different. So we have to we have to assign a different calculation. Okay. So fill it, or if you want, you can go for arrows, something like this. For high, you can use upper arrow. For low, you can prefer down arrow. And for color,
I just want to see that calculation. All right, thank you.
yeah. And assign the proper color. For high, green, low, red color. Clear? This is the exact requirement I have done for one of my project requirement. So there are a couple of things. In this case, it is pretty simple, straightforward. The only option is we have to use straight away directly shape. Okay, no need to convert into discrete or continuous. But here I converted into discrete and I used shape. The only option is this is here. In this case, we are just showcasing an indicator. But if you want to showcase both indicator and a value, what you can do is just drag and drop profit into label, and you can resize. Okay, you can resize. No need to go for like discrete and continuous. here as well, like you cannot prefer any discrete and continuous. But why I prefer discrete and continuous in this case is you're wasting this much space. You can see from here, you are wasting almost half of the column space. Sometimes they will ask to like, why don't you reduce the space? It is not possible to reduce the space. That is the reason why if you want to showcase this indicator separately, you can prefer discrete. Convert this profit into discrete. You have a separate column for profit and you have a separate space for these shapes as well. Okay, you can resize. This is a separate column. Clear? Any questions? Any questions, let me know so that. So you can also try using different shapes. Actually working on some part of data. I'm actually working on this election related data. So I just captured some part of sample data and I'm just looking into this. Let me showcase that. Saturday and Sunday, I just created a sample visualization I captured. This is a sample. This data is prepared from myself. So I loaded Joe Biden and Donald Trump's images and assigned shape. You can see here. First of all, I created candidates. This is sample data, candidates and electoral votes. So if you want to look into the data, this is the data you can see. So candidates, okay, and the votes, total winning votes, and the vote percentage. Okay, this is the data I captured in the clipboard. And what I have done is I just want to assign a proper images. Okay, for Donald Trump and Joe Biden. I didn't added other images because they don't have any number. That is the reason I just preferred to add these two images. So I just assigned a shape. Okay, so assign a shape in the sense you just click on the shape, drag and drop the candidates. For Donald Trump, you can see I just loaded in the new folder. You can see for Donald Trump, I just assign this shape. And for Joe Biden, I just assign this particular shape, assign shape. Okay. Then what I have done is in this particular dashboard, I just inserted actually, I just inserted, this is different. Okay. I just inserted image from dashboard. Okay. Just inserted dashboard for the appropriate place. But in general, I just want to go for the like proper images, right? So let me showcase that. You can see Donald Trump, and I don't want to showcase the naming convention. I want to showcase only the image. Click on this drop down and select header. You can showcase the image and the total electoral votes. Control Z, drag and drop into labels. You can see 232, 306, something like this. Clear? I'm also working on some part of data. I just created this information, the state-wise, every state-wise, and the total number of votes, the percentage. Clear? So that's what we have to practice. I have to spend some time, and that's what the only thing. So not sure. I also showed the COVID-19 dashboard, right? I actually done that. So if I have time, right, I generally used to create I generally search for some of the real-time data, or I just search for some content and I will try to prepare. This is pending. I just want to create some visualization on top of this. So this is a bar graph, this is the bar graph which I created. This is the bar graph, and I just place the text over, I just use the candidates and text on top of bar to showcase both Joe Biden and Donald Trump's count. Clear? So this is where shapes, you can prefer shapes. What I mean to say is you have to practice, you have to spend some time, and you can try and achieve some part of visualizations. There are lots of data actually you can search. And as I said, right, you can also go for COVID-19 dashboard implementation. I will help you out. If you can practice, at least if you can start, I'm going to help you out to complete those visualizations. Clear? You can do a lot of formatting actually. You don't want to waste a lot of space. Let me do this. Okay. And I can drop the first sheet here. Let me use floating. That's it. So based on the color, you can identify those candidates, winning states, and you can differentiate that. This is the dashboard I want to build, and I just want to do some more formatting. Clear? So the only thing is you have to spend time for sure. If you are going to spend some time, then you'll get more ideas how to implement, so you have to spend more time on because if you prefer Tableau is your next job, if you want to search job on Tableau, for sure you have to practice.
So
I will help you out. As I said, if you have interest, I will help you out in data preparation, or maybe I will send some sample data. And I
Yes,
don't have
sir.
much time. I don't have much time actually, but I want to do lots of visualizations. But we'll see. Yeah.